discovering the different sounds that letter C takes in the English language. Willice, a very good evening to you. Good to see you. Take it away.
Well, good evening, viewers. It's now that time when we get down to good English pronunciations and correct spellings on your favorite segment, Mind Your Language, and I'm Willice Ochieng. I begin with what I gave you as a promise last week, that is last Friday, and it's about letter C. Now, we always hear of letter C sound K for cat or cap, or you can talk of crocodile or coconut. Yes, that is right. But remember, letter C has more than one sound value. You can pronounce it in 4 ways. The first sound, K, like in cat, cap, coconut, and others. Now, you can also use sound S for letter C, just like in the word center. Center. You don't say kenta, you say center. Remember, the same letter C also takes sound sh in English. That is, you say official, official. You don't say official, you don't say official, you say official. Just like special, special. We can't say speckle. Now, the other sound that letter C also takes in English is ch, like in the word concerto, concerto. You can see I've underlined letter C by giving you the sounds that it takes. So when you say C, that is the name by which the letter is identified in the English alphabet. You get all these only on KTN. Now, let's get to our collections of the week. And the first word is right here from the verb advertise, advertise. Now, this one is a noun, and you say advertisement, advertisement, not advertisement, no. Advertisement, but you can also say advertisement. So the glide is not there. Let's get to the next word, dear viewers, and the one which we have now is just this word. Can you try? Can you pronounce it? Well, I always say learning has no full stop, has no end. But in this word, letter S takes the voiced sound Z. So you say transact, to transact. That is to do business with somebody or an organization, to transact. And you also say transaction, transaction. Can you try? Good. Now, let's get to our next word. It's not very common, but we are talking about a sadness that is like an illness, that great sadness. So, you say melancholy with a stress right at the onset. That is at the beginning. You say melancholy, but in that adjective which is derived from this word, you say melancholic, melancholic. So, the noun is melancholy, then the adjective, you say melancholic with a stress on co. Clear? Great. Now, let's get to the next word, and it's right here. When we talk about this word, which is an adjective, you say definitive. Definitive. It means final or the best of its kind, but pronunciation is definitive. That is the way to pronounce it. Then, let's get to a word that I just want you to try. Can you say this word? Can you say it again? We have to try because nobody in this world is perfect, not even Willice. And I want just to assure you about something here. Even when you go to the native speakers, they'll tell you that English, the vocabulary is too wide or so wide such that sometimes there are words that are also a problem to the native speakers of English. So that's why I always tell you, nobody is spotless with pronunciations. But now, I know many people said tricycle. Tricycle, no. You say tricycle. Tricycle. Cycle, not cycle. Cycle. Tricycle, just like we also say bicycle. Bicycle. Do we say bicycle? No. But the word Cycle, which is a verb, you just say cycle. That is C-Y-C-L-E, to cycle. But this word, you say tricycle, and then we have bicycle. Clear? Good. Now, let's get to a word which is not very common, and it's commonly used in American English, but sometimes words, just like in the English vocabulary, English is not purely English. If you study the origins and development of the language, right from, say, the 5th century, you'd realize that even the language itself emanated or was just begun from the West Germanic dialects. But please, we are learning. Now, here we have a word that means causing trouble or difficulty. And you say nettlesome, nettlesome. Don't say nettlesome. Nettlesome, no. Nettlesome. But remember, we say chromosome, chromosome, not chromosome. But this one, you say nettlesome, then I've said chromosome, not chromosome. Good, because I know there's somebody saying now S-O-M-E. In one word, it takes the sounding some. Another one, like this one, nettlesome. So why some and why some? Please, we have what we call irregularities in English spelling and pronunciation. And even when you come to grammar, if you say sad, sadder, saddest, do you go ahead and say bad, badder, baddest? Or do you say good, gooder, goodest? No. You don't say good, gooder, goodest. You don't say sad, more sad, this sad, this sad. No. You say sad. Just to the comparative sadder, then the superlative saddest, straight. But you don't say bad, badder, baddest. You get that? Bad, worse, worst. Clear? Good. We are learning, and only on KTN. Now, we have the next word. When we talk about a substance that pollutes something, you say pollutant, pollutant. Don't say pollutant. Pollutant, no. You say pollu. The U takes the long, high back sound oo. That is pollu, pollutant. That is the way to handle the pronunciation of this word. Now, let's get to the next one. And it's a word that is fairly common, but a bit tricky for many people. This one, you say cremation. Cremation, the act or process of burning a dead body, you say cremation, from the verb cremate, to cremate. Then, that place where that action takes place, you say crematorium, crematorium. So, cremate, crematorium, and cremation, not cremation. Cremation, no. Cremate, no. Crematorium, no. So, I've given you the clear pronunciation of the three words. To cremate, crematorium, then cremation. That is the way to handle them. Then let's get to the next word, it, right here. Now, this one, can you say it? A very simple word, but can you try? If you said parents, parents, please avoid that. It's parents, parents. My parent, the parent. That is the way to handle this word, dear viewers. Parent, parents. Then, can you try the next one? Because the last two words, I really wanted you to try. And this one? You say agent, agent. Then this one, you say agents. This is now the plural form of agent. Don't say agents, agent, no. You say agent and agents, agents, not agents. That is a bit tricky because it's a common word, but sometimes, do you know what, our dear viewers? Sometimes there are certain pronunciations which are inaccurate. They are inaccurate, but we find ourselves using them because of what we hear around us as we grow up. But just say agent, agents, parent, parents. We are learning. Good? Cool. Now we get to our feedback, and the first person for tonight is Clement Michaels of Malindi. You say predecessor, your predecessor, and then the second word, glaucoma, glaucoma. Don't say glaucoma. Glaucoma, no. Glaucoma. Then we have Job Awor Nyakwar Jamoko. You say constituent, constituent. The second word, you say supper. S-U-P-P-E-R. You pronounce it as supper, not super. Super is S-U-P-E-R. Now, your last word, you say comrades. Comrades. Don't say comrades. No. Comrades. And the spelling of that word is simply C-O-M-R-A-D-E-S. Comrades. Now, Emily, a.k.a. M-E-N of Egerton. Egerton University, you say tenure. Tenure. I know this name is tricky. And names globally, wherever you go, in any part of the world, if a name is foreign to you, it's new, even locally, from another community, there may be a name that you cannot pronounce well. It happens. Names are tricky. So you say Egerton. Egerton. We commonly find ourselves saying Egerton, but the name is Egerton. So Egerton University, Emily, A-K-M-E-N. Keep it up, but you say tenure. Then we have Ali Daib of Wajir. You can also say Wajir, but Wajir better. Ali Daib of Wajir, you say Furo. Furo, but you can also say furori. So the word has two acceptable, if you like, alternative pronunciations. Furo, furori. That is the way to handle it. Then Agnes Njambi K of Nairobi, you say diplomatic corps. Diplomatic corps. Don't say diplomatic corps. Corps, no. C-O-R-P-S. You pronounce that word as corps, just like C-O-R-E. Corps. Don't say diplomatic corps, dear viewers. It's simply diplomatic corps. So, our next word is from Njuguna 0100, if you like, 0100, also of Nairobi. You say microwave. Microwave. Don't say microwave. Microwave, microwave, maybe that could be hilarious, but please don't say that. If you are using the correct pronunciation of a word, especially in careers of serious communication, just say microwave. That is the way to pronounce it in Njuguna, and also keep it up because KTN is there for you, our dear viewer. Now, K. Kilonzo of Machakos, you say enforceable. Enforceable. You can say also enforceable, but enforceable is the way to pronounce that word. Emily Anyango Nyarodero of Kisumu City. Oh, Emily, what you say is that simple pronunciation. You simply say enjoy, to enjoy. The way you are enjoying the show is the way you also say that same pronunciation of the word, E-N-J-O-Y. You say enjoy, to enjoy, just like enough, enough. Don't say enough. That E takes the short sound E, enough. But remember, you say energy, not energy. Engineer, not engineer. You get them right? You only have to understand the phonology of English. That is the sound system of English, which we always demystify for you on KTN. Now, we have Zena Musa at Zena Musa 46. You say germinate, to germinate. You are right, germinate. Then Eric Opili, Charles Kiithia, Okoyana Oparanya, and John Wambeo, keep it up because you get them always every Friday night. Don't forget. Now, Josephine Achalat, you say tomb, tomb, the tomb. Don't say the tomb. The tomb, that B after M is silent, just like in the word womb, the womb. Don't say the womb. Remember, dear viewers, we also say lamb, not lamb. Lamb. You also say limb, not limb. Limb. We always find ourselves saying limb, but that is not the way. The B is silent. Now we have Kwame Quinon, A, you say detonate, to detonate, not to detonate. Detonate, common but inaccurate. The stress is right at the onset. You say detonate, and you also say resonate. To resonate with somebody. Resonate. If something resonates with you, you don't say resonate. Resonate, no. Resonate is the pronunciation. Now, Daniel Mwai and Alvin Bet, you say foal. Foal for F-O-A-L. Foal. But F-O-U-L. foul, just like F-O-W-L. Now, the next person is Millicent Kogo of Maralal. S-E-W, my dear sister, you say so. Don't say sew, no. S-E-W, so. S-O, so. S-O-W, for planting, you also say so. So the three words are homophones. Now, let's get to the next word, that is humidity. Humidity. Don't say humidity, don't say who. Humidity, humidity, no. Humidity. Now, the last one, circuit. The circuit, short circuit, not circuit that we find ourselves using innocently. You say circuit, for S, not S, but C-I-R-C-U-I-T. Circuit. Now, the next person is Kenneth Mutoro. Oh, Kenneth Mutoro, Ann A. Onyango, Kevin Juma, Mosomi Brian, Judith Chomugisha of Kampala, Uganda, Abdulaziz Barrow of Mandera, Takaba, and Moses Shauri. Keep it up. Then we have Micah, if you like. Locally, we find ourselves saying Micah, but that name is pronounced Micah. So, Micah, you have something great. Micah Samba of Bungoma, you say Jesus. So, don't say Jesus. Jesus, very common, but the right pronunciation is Jesus. Then your second word, you say manger. The manger, not manga, not manga. No, manger, placed in the manger. Then lastly, you say quotient. That is the way to pronounce your last word. Then Benjamin Wanjala, you say kanja. This is a tricky word, dear viewers. C-O-N-J-U-R-E. Many people find themselves saying conjure. To conjure, no, kanja. Kanja is the right pronunciation. Clear? Then, your second word, Benjamin Wanjala, is prowess. Another tricky one. You don't say prowess. Prowess, common but inaccurate. I know it may surprise many people, but that is the way to go. That is the way to pronounce that word. You say prowess. Kanja and prowess, not prowess. Now, let's get Liz Afro with her word, that is cyber cafe. Cyber cafe. Don't say cyber cafe. Cyber cafe, no. Cyber cafe. Now, Danny Akelo Okoko, or Okoko. I know if I have to pronounce this word well, that is from the Luo community. You say Okoko, but you also have Okoko. That is there. Just like we have minute and minute. Minute and minute, same spelling but different pronunciation. So sometimes when you talk about linguistics, it's about studying languages, and you can find also certain elements that you get in English, also maybe in your language. So here we have Dani Akelo Okoko of Nyahera Yugis. That letter, you say W. You can also say W, and you can also say W. What we find ourselves saying as the name of that letter, it's common but inaccurate. That is W. No, we don't have that. You simply say W, or W. That is the way to handle that letter. But remember, we have handled C for tonight, and there are 26 letters of the English alphabet. So there's a lot on the way, only on KTN. Now, we have Musau C. Michael, Daniel Thungu, and we have Mary Awino, Moses Mwamba, George Onoka. George Onoka, you say a third. But remember, you can also say 1/3, though that one is common in American English, but it's a question of choice, or the informal way. A third. So Noka, that is the way to go. Catherine N. Mwangi, Tut Wiyual of Juba, South Sudan. Wiyual and everybody in Juba, you are watching this only on KTN every Friday night. And then we have Dr. Peter Saula of Moi University, Eldoret. Keep it up. Then we have finally Paul Mwaura Kamau, a Kenyan on a UN mission in the Central African Republic. So we also salute you, our brother, and if you can just keep it up as you always watch all these on your favorite station, KTN. Now, we have to get down to our surprise word for tonight, and it's right here. That soft material, we find ourselves saying sponge, sponge, but please, you say sponge, sponge. The O takes the mid-central sound, sponge. So that is the way to pronounce that word. Then we have the confusing words, and the words which are here, the first two words are in plural, the plural form. So the first one, the plural of diva, you simply say divas. That's the first word, divas. Diva, divas. Now, the second one is diver, a diver. So and so is a diver. The plural form, which is on our paper, you say divers, two divers. That is for the second word, divers. Then lastly, we have the word that means different. On diverse date. So get it right, diverse. The first one, divas. Second one, divers. The last one, diverse. On diverse date. So you can also see the phonetic transcription that I've used for you right there. So keep it up because you have to get these things right. Now, when you have a written language and you can use correct spellings and you can also use the right words, will always communicate. You'll always communicate very well. So here we are. We have this word for tonight. That is, words that are tricky in spelling. We have the word auxiliary. Auxiliary, like auxiliary verb, or you can also talk of auxiliary workers or staff. But please, it has a single L. One L. Don't use LL. It's a single L, so the upper word is the right one. That is a single L, the way I've explained, dear viewers. You get it right? Good. So let's get to our words that have been asked by many people. That is the much asked about words. They are related. The first one, you say scarce, scarce. Don't say scarce. Very common, but that is not the pronunciation of the first word. You say scarce. Remember, from the verb scare, you say scares, scares. He scares many people. She scares many people. They scare many people. But now, here, you say scarce. That is not found, or which is not enough. You get that? Scarce, scarce, tricky, but that is the way. The second word, you say scarcely. Scarcely. Don't say scarcely. Scarcely, no. Scarcely. I know here we have surprises to our viewers. Now, the last one, you say scarcity. Scarcity. So scarce, scarcely, scarcity. A real surprise to many people. But that is the way to go. It's better always to get it right. And that is why we learn. That is why we learn. We learn to get things right. So, scarce, scarcely, and scarcity. But commonly, what we commonly hear as we grow up is scarce, scarcely, and scarcity. So avoid those, especially in careers of serious communication. Now, that part of the phonetic or sound symbols. And we have the long, low, back sound O. Its symbol is right here. The symbol is right here for that long sound O. Just like when you say core, core, C-O-R-E, core. When you also say more, more. Many people innocently say more than, no, more than, more. The long sound O. And lastly, snore, to snore. Don't say snore. Don't say snore. You say snore. So, dear viewers, sometimes when we have to do some of these learnings, we have just to be very, very keen because just one difference would make a difference in your communication. You get that? Good. Now, next week, can you say these words? Can you try them? I know many people would say boa, roa, soa. Boa, roa, soa. But that is not the way to pronounce them. You'll get them only on KTN next week. And you can also interact with me as usual, because I always see you sending many questions throughout the week. That is the way to go. Just send in as many questions as you can, and be sure to get them right here on Mind Your Language every Friday night. You can interact with me on Twitter, and that is at Willice Ochieng 1. Otherwise, I have to thank you most sincerely for the privilege of your time and the pleasure of your company. As I also remind you, my cameraman, as usual, is that man, Fred Moturi. The time now has reached when I have to take you back to Nairobi.
Willice, the word master there once again, having you question what kind of English you learnt in school. Thank you very much, Willice, for that. Be sure to catch him again next Friday with new words just to help you get by your pronunciation, spelling, and general language. That's just about how we wrap it up here on a Friday briefing. Thank you very much for staying with us. I am Akisa Wandera. Sign language interpreter is Marisha Owiti. We'll be seeing you tomorrow night on KTN Weekend Prime. Have a good night.
This is KTN News.